So at the exact same time that I picked up Energon Towline, I also picked up a brand new figure from Bobakhan, and that is Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Earthrise Decepticon Snapdragon. Wow, that title is a mouthful. At least they didn't call it RID for a change. I'm just saying. And he's also not part of the Generations line, so whatever. Well, actually, yeah, technically he is part of Generations because he's not in the show or the miniseries or whatever it is. I'll say it again: the War for Cybertron trilogy, the show, garbage. I'm actually at the point where like I like the toys from Kingdom, but I don't want to see the show itself. I'm kind of at that point. So anyway, Snapdragon has been referenced a number of times in previous figures. But it's usually like Legends class or something along those lines. Or it might be mentioned in the background or whatever it is. But he hasn't, as I understand it, he hasn't gotten a brand new figure that looks like his G1 self until now. And considering how far out we are from G1, that's a good 3 decades since it's been since Snapdragon had a new figure made of him. I'm fairly confident I never had the chance to handle a G1 Snapdragon, so this will be a new experience for me. But he's a triple changer, so I can't complain about that. I don't know. Transformers triple changers tend to be hit and miss, just whatever. And this was one that I came out late. Came out in the last quarter of 2020, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could get behind that. So he's two rifles that are identical. I feel like they've been painted. Why would you paint these? I don't think they were, but for some reason it feels like they're painted. It'd be weird if they were. Just saying. There were a number of other. In Home My King, there's always a bunch of figures from each line I want to get, but there were a number of figures I wanted to get from the War for Cybertron Siege line, or not just Siege, but also Earthrise. I still want to get my hands on. It's not leader class. I think it's something else. It's Skylinks. I still want to get my hands on Skylinks, and I want to get my hands on. Wow, that's a chunk of alt mode. And then I also want to get Double Dealer. It's like, wow, that's actually a quad changer, so that's impressive. Why are you not coming out? What's the deal here? And there was a third one. Or like I saw both of them at Walmart, which I haven't been to for quite some time. But yeah. Anyways, why is this? Why are you so difficult to get out of here? What's happening here? Why would they design the box to have that? Seriously? This should not be this difficult. Are you tied down? No, it's just the one. It's just the one thing. So why is it so difficult to get out of here? I'm not even going to bother. By the way, I'm not even going to bother pulling out the tech spec decoder this time. Like I literally don't care. So good God, Snapdragon. The fuck. Oh, I really don't like deforming these. But if I must, I must. Get out of there. God damn. Oh, great. The other one's floating around. Oh, there it is. Wow, that is really difficult to get out of there. Like, unnecessarily difficult. Good God. That was stupid how much effort that took. I'm one of those people who likes to preserve the boxes. But that being said, holy shit much. That's actually one of the reasons why I was having to do the refit to my room or whatever it is, because like, I like hanging onto the boxes. Where are the instructions, by the way? There they are. Oh, what's this? Warning, choking hazard. Parts not for children under 3 years. And manufactured in Rhode Island. Or actually, it comes from Hasbro, which is located in Rhode Island, which I totally forgot about. Okay, that unnecessarily ate up a lot of time on the clock. Good grief, I only have so much space in my computer, Snapdragon. Hello. Also, hello, Snapdragon. Is on the ball joint. He's also got a, they're not headmasters. What are they called again? I don't remember. Titan Master. They're called Titan Masters now. Whatever. Which, by the way, a couple of weeks ago, Hasbro announced they're totally done with Titan Masters. They're not going to do those anymore. Which you can't really say I blame them, because like those neck joints that are used for neck joints on bigger robots is just like, no, that's not happening. You have a waist swivel. Why, you've got a really wide torso. Good grief. And your feet are really tiny. What's going on here? Oh, but they do tilt appropriately. All right, they tilt back and forth on a friction joint or a transformation joint. All right. What's the back view look like? Wow, it's almost night and day. I like his color scheme. This is some good old-fashioned G1 G1 color scheme. Actually, I'll put my head over here. It's not terrible. It's not bad. Wow. This is like a hefty deluxe just 10 years ago would be this size. It's got a nice surface detail on him. Really nice surface detail. Does that unhinge? No, it does not. Okay. Does he have an ankle tilt? Oh, he's totally got an ankle tilt. Oh, look at that. Totally can't see it. He's got an ankle tilt. Tilts all the way in, more than likely because of transformation. And then he also has has. Oh, I see. Okay, so his foot will tilt. Let's see. His foot will tip like that, but it won't go back any more than that. All right. No wrist articulation. That's fine. These extend. No, but I bet you they go inwards. Ooh, and those wings are molded in. Good to know. Oh, his arms only go to 45 degrees. Or his elbows only go to 45 degrees. Gosh, this got really nice surface detailing on the back as well. Wow. I don't know how well it's picking up on the camera, but yeah, it looks really nice. Really nice surface detailing, and on the back as well. Are you telling me that all of this turquoise is... Let's see, is that turning out the same? It's a little more. It's that weird turquoise color that toy manufacturers seem to use a lot lately. It's blue on the screen, but in person it's more of a green. So be aware, it's a little deceptive. It's actually green in person. But whatever. Well, it's a good thing the nose cone is made out of rubber, or else I'd be worried. Or maybe that's PVC. Boy, that's a lot of wings on the underside of his arms. Good grief. That's going to impair some of his posability. A little pair of forearm claws hanging out underarm. That's funny. Huh. So the elbows only move 45 degrees. But do they twist? Oh, they probably wouldn't be able. Well, can they? Yeah, they can. But the problem is these. He's got a bunch of wing and tail structures under his forearms. It makes it next to impossible to actually like if you're going to turn the elbow outwards, the wings are actually going to poke into his torso. So, yeah, posability on the legs is fine. It's not a problem at all. Is that a ball joint? No, it's not. Forward and backward on the hip is a little loose. Friction joint on the swivel. And then he has a pair of guns. Oh, looks like the guns can also mount to the side of his arms. It's probably for vehicle modes, no doubt. So you can put one there, one on the other side. You can put a gun on his back. Let's see. Oh, here's an interesting one. Oh, can you put it on his forearms? Yes, you can. You can attach it to the outside of his forearms, just at his wrists. Nice. Can never complain about that, where you've got guns on the outside of your forearms. Can't really argue with that. Where else? Where else? Oh, they can also plug in either side of his knees. Oh, that's actually good for storage. Kind of. Oh, what is... Okay. And then he also, like a badass mother, he can also put the guns on the top front of his torso. That's probably for weapon storage right there for the vehicle mode, or maybe for landing gear or something like that. But okay, so wow, there's actually a lot of places you can put them. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, so legs, you got no problem posing the legs, but the arms will be a little restrictive in the. Actually, they'll just be restrictive, period. Put your arms out to the side. And there. Is there or isn't there an elbow swivel? There is, but it's really tight. Oh, it's because of transformation, that's why. So, yeah. Still, dual rifles, beam rifles, whatever, is never something to complain about. And then, of course, because he's a Titan Master, means neck articulation. I like his head. It's nice design. Very G1. There's a lot of G1 coloring happening here. Let's open these instructions and see if they actually say who your partner is. That would be nice. They show the partner, but do they give him a name? No. There is no. Wait, what is that? Oh, okay. So there's no name. Okay. Titan Master, who are you? It does not say who the Titan Master is. TF Wiki. Ho. Let's see. Two blasters and Decepticon Krunk. That's the Headmaster. Or Titan Master, I guess. It's Decepticon Krunk. Or Kronk? Krunk with a U. God, it'll never cease to amaze me how tiny those Titan Masters are. Period. Good lord, those are tiny. You know, I wonder if a Titan Master would be comparable to a what's it called? A Dionaut from Diaclone Reboot, which is they're all scaled to 160 scale. So I wonder if Titan Masters are scaled to 160 or whatever it is. So here is Decepticon Krunk, who you totally can't see. So yeah. Wish there was a way to close up the face, but oh well. And it amazes me how the head of Krunk is almost identical, not just in the shape to Snapdragon, but also the paint applications. He's got a red visor and a red mouth or whatever it is. But it's so tiny you can barely see it. So, all right. Also, what is unusual for a Titan Master? I can't remember if all Titan Masters have monoleg, but this guy definitely does. Of course, he's got tiny pegs on the bottom of them, but I have no idea where you'd be able to peg those in. I don't think you can peg them in. Well, nope, those are too big. Those are too big. Although those might be pegs for um, combining, or not combining, yeah, right, for transforming, to be fair. Alright, Krunk. Okay. Alright, what do we got here? So it looks like first up is going to be jet mode, which is fine with me. Well, that's definitely an interesting way of integrating the feet into the jet fighters, or the vehicle mode nose, or whatever it is. That's nice. Actually, wow, it actually snaps into position, and I just discovered the nose wheel. Nice. Okay, this is where this is probably a throwback to his G1 days, but there's actually two transparent sections. There's the actual cockpit, which is yeah, there's the actual cockpit, which is here, but there's no room for Krunk anywhere. So instead, they've got a little compartment, which again is probably a G1 throwback. They've got a little compartment behind the cockpit where you can insert Krunk, which I can live with that. Yeah. I can already tell it's going to be a pain in the ass to open and close that cockpit, so don't expect me to do it very much. Oh, yeah, You want me to pull that out? Yeah. Why would you do a zoom in? Like, it's very clear that you want me to pull out the landing gear, so why would you have a zoom in window? I don't get that. His knees can bend forward an unusual amount. Well, it's because of the transformation. Ah, okay. And you can still put away the landing gear if you want to. Yes. Boy, that elbow swivel is really going to irritate me. It's just kind of getting in the way of everything. Oh, there's an actual joint there. Oh, okay. Oh, that's good to know. Really tight elbow joints. Good grief. Kind of unnecessarily tight. Oh, where is... Wait. Why does he have two Decepticon badges on his chest? He's got one on each boob. He's got pasties. He's got Decepticon badge pasties. Huh? Okay, he's got Decepticon badge pasties. Good to know. Good lord, those are tight. That's like unnecessarily tight. Okay, I think I can figure out the rest from here. Although, why would his arms be exposed, or why would his elbows be exposed like that? They just are, I guess. I thought they were going to telescope, but turns out they're not. Or are they? I mean, why would they have that there? Do you pull? No. Do you push them? No. Huh. Yeah, those... Well, I guess it's not an elbow swivel. It's a bicep swivel that allows the elbow to do this. That's what's really difficult to work with. That's where the friction is sitting right now. Ooh, sexy jet is sexy. Well, they gave him nose gear, so where's the rest of it? Okay, so here's Snapdragon in his vehicle mode. Very nice. Can never really argue with a decent SR-71 Blackbird analogy, I guess. Especially not a Cybertron version. He's got engines there, but the problem is that the engines are actually his hands. So, you can't fold them away either because they're permanently molded as part of that. So they gave him a nose gear with that doesn't have an actual functional wheel. I was like, okay, where's the landing gear? You know, does he even have landing gear? Well, he's got just the nose gear, and then that's it. So I guess it just rests on his chest. Which, by the way, his chest is painted, which means when you rest it on his chest, you're going to be scratching paint over time. So I find it difficult to believe they would leave it at that. There must be some kind of landing gear or something that I'm missing, except that the instructions don't say anything about it. Boy, that's loose. Well, it's not terrible, but... Alright, it's not bad. All you really do is accordion the legs, and then you take the panel on his back, flip it forward, and then you flip his arms up and peg them to either side. That's pretty much it. Which is not bad. And all things being considered, like I like the contrast of like yin to yang, or is it yin to yang, whatever it is. I do like that contrast. That's one of the reasons I got what's it called from Ryu's Soldier? What were you called? Cosmoraptor. Cosmoraptor had purple and gold and white and then black. You know, so I kind of like that combination. So that's not bad. And then finally, we unpeg. Here's the thing I'm concerned about, because I saw how tightly these doors are in place. Unfortunately, there's there's the cockpit that I told you about earlier, and then there's the back doors. But these back doors I'm worried about. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something about these cockpit. You know, I might even like cut the tabs or something like that, because these in here really, really tight, like really tight. You almost don't need those. There's a little pair of tabs on the back of each door. The back of each of these doors has a tab on the back, and I'm actually sand that off just because it's like it doesn't need to be that tight because it's only going to be in this mode, so where those doors actually need to be opened. So alternatively, what you can do is you can take Crunk here and you can stick him into the cockpit before you put the legs together. So that's what she said. So anyways, you want to put him into a legs forward, feet forward position, not bending at the knee. And then just slip him right in there. Yeah, I think it might actually be better to put Crunk in there when he's when the legs are still separated, like mid transformation. If you want to put him in there, that's the time to do it. So I'm not going to be sealing the cockpit, but just be aware Crunk is in there. You can see his little head right there and his little legs right there. I don't know if you can see the little bit of magenta that's kind of sneaking out right there. Well, that's nice. I can live with that. And I've also noticed another place that you can mount the guns is above the cockpit, which I don't disagree with. I suppose it comes from that good old Transformers tradition of putting the weapon on top of the vehicle mode. That's probably what this is. So you can also store the guns up there and free up the wings, which I'm actually not opposed to. I'm not opposed to having the wings there like that. Okay, so that is Snapdragon in his vehicle mode. Just before I turned the camera on, I flipped over the instructions. I'm like, please tell me I can keep him in jet mode in order to get to his beast mode. Yes! So yeah, you actually do want to start with Snapdragon in his vehicle mode. So his hands become engine nozzles, become the beast mode feet. Alright, okay, I can live with that. Yeah, I thought that was a door. Oh, no, wait. Is. Oh, no, actually, that's not a door. That's a door. Okay. And that is adorable. Boom, boom. Ooh, that's a squeaky plastic joint. What's that? Oh, that's where his head goes. Okay. Okay, so there's the top of his head, and we put this panel back. Oh, that's why it has a joint there. Okay. Ooh, I would not have done his forelimbs like that. Although, to be fair, it is pretty nice around ball and socket joint, but I wouldn't have jointed it there. It looks like it's a double elbow joint, but trust me, it's not. Wait, how the hell do I get it all the way back there? Wait, you wanted me to peg this in where? I don't think I can. How am I? There's no way I can get those pegs in there. There's no fucking way. I don't care if this joint has 3 joints on it or not. I can't. It doesn't go that far. How the hell? You want me to put that where? Note to self, trim those tabs on the back end of each cockpit door. That's such a pain in the ass to get those in and out of there. That's what she said. Does this extend any more than this? No, it does not. So unless I tilt this way up like this. Do you want me to tilt his hips? I don't think so. Oh, there it goes. Something just snapped in the right way. Oh, I guess they want me to do that. That's weird. But those are tilted. Okay, I guess they want me to tilt the hips back like that, but they didn't say it here in the instructions. Okay, Hasbro, step 18. You could have done step 18 a little better. You could have given us a different angle on that. Because right now, we're seeing it from... actually, it's from this angle. But that totally doesn't show you what you need to do. You should have shown it from kind of a little more this angle, or maybe something more along the lines of this angle, and then show us, oh yeah, you take this and fold it down. That's what it should have been. But you didn't. Yeah, Hasbro, I would have put the step 18. I would have showed it I would have shown that at a different angle from what we got. Wow, I was not expecting it to do that. Oh, jeez. That's weird. I mean, it feels like it's in the right position, but at the same time, it's not. I'm not entirely certain. It certainly is an interesting way of doing it. I'll say that. It's definitely not a G1 feeling joint right there. It could like in G1 it would have just, I'm guessing in G1 would have been just been a big block of a torso, of an upper torso, and then the cockpit, or the nose of the jet fighter forms the tail. But the way this is done, actually, you know what? I've actually got the wiki in front of me. I want to see what the original version did. Oh, he had the flip down panel on his chest. It had his stats on there. I can't remember what that's called. Is that a headmaster? Oh yeah, his torso is just this huge block of a thing. So yeah, obviously the way they were engineering this, they wanted to give the dragon or the diner, whatever it is, they wanted to give it a bit more of a um, dynamic looking torso. So it was actually curved a little bit more, which I can totally appreciate that. Like, good, I'm glad they did that. Just I mean, don't get me wrong, that's pretty doggone impressive. I'm not gonna lie. And then they give you just a little bit of posability on the back of the tail here. Nice. I actually do like that. Okay, and then we take Crunk. Gotta remember it's with a U. And you want to stick him in the exact same cockpit position, where it's just his arms and hips are, or his arms and his legs are pointing forward, but you do not bend his legs, or you don't bend his knees. Looks like the only time he's bend his knees is when he's just a Titan Master by himself, or when he's a Headmaster unit. And then here comes the part I'm interested. You actually take the head and you turn it into the jaw of the Dino mode, which, not gonna lie, that is impressive. Although I'm gonna stretch out his legs so I have a little more purchase. If you have to struggle that hard with the head of a Titan Master, you know some shit is happening. It's like they put ball joints on the Titan Masters' necks, which I actually disagree with that. They should never have done that. The panels on the front of Krunk's biceps, they form the eyes of the Dragon mode, or the T-Rex mode. Bitchin'. Alright, so I have to leave the arms up like that. But I still have to get the head in there. Actually didn't have this much problem with a couple of other robos I've got. You know what? I'm going to fold his arms down, because I need the leverage. Leverage on a figure this fucking small. Remember the whole 176 Dianot thing I was talking about earlier? Titan Masters are so damn tiny. Just, ugh. For me, it's the ball joint. You know, get rid of the ball joint. I know you want to preserve posability, but that being said, for a figure this small, just now I'll fold his arms up so I can get them into the. You've got to be kidding me. Are you telling me the only way I can get those in there? Wow. So you're telling me I can't? Oh, ow! Ooh, he just literally bit me. That's not fun. Okay, so you have to have his arms pointing up, because if you don't, he's going to have hollow eyes. This is taking way longer than it should. You know, once you get the plastic in there the first time, the second time it's not quite as difficult. Crunk, work with me. God, this is a pain in the fingertips. There we go. And his eyes are now magenta, and so is his jaw. Such is G1. Wow, that was a pain in the fingertips. Okay, good. Now it's done. That was not fun. That was not fun at all. But might not be as big as G1. How long did this take? Good lord, that took way longer than I thought it would. He may not be as big as G1, but cannot argue with the results. Look at all this neck articulation. Look at this. Wow. I think you're supposed to hold it straight out like this, but it's also implying that you want to have him a little more upright like this, so you can use the tail as the third leg, which you know, I can agree with that. No fucking way. No fucking way you're going to be able to give that tail, the tip of the tail, the ability to shift back and forth. That would be insane. That would be the literal definition of insanity. There was a Transformers figure. Oh, no, it's the third party slug that I have. What was he called? It's a big, you know, it's about this long. Anyways, when you put the tail together, he actually has the ability to turn the tail side to side, even though it's designed to separate. Can't think of what he's called off the top of my head. But there he is. There's Snapdragon in his Dragon Snap mode. Yeah. Getting Crunk into that into and out of the head there, that's going to be such a pain. It's going to be a literal pain because of A, how small the pieces, the components are involved, and B, there's literal teeth right there that you have to contend with. So, and then you can tilt his head up like that if you so desire. Well, there's a lot of friction in the. I'm actually going to loosen that upper neck joint that gives him the ability to look down, up and down. I'm going to loosen that. Are his eyes in the? Anyways, what you do then is you take. Well, you take nothing. You can open the jaw by moving Crunk's hips back and forth, so you can actually have his jaw open if you so desire. That's pretty doggone neat. I do like that. Posability. Friction joints at each shoulder, ball joints at each elbow. But again, even though they are ball joints, wow, that plastic's real thin there. That scares me for the posability there. Even though there's ball joints, the ball joint's actually located in the upper. It's actually located in the bicep. It's not located in the elbow. So you can see where it's angling from. It looks like it's got two elbow joints, you know, so it can actually, you know, stretch all the way out and then stretch all the way back like that, but it's not. A, you can only pull the arms down to 90 degrees like that, so you only get this range of motion and you get this range of motion. But it looks like, at first blush, it looks like there's a second elbow joint that allows it to extend all the way. No, it does not extend all the way. It only goes to 90 degrees and that's it. G, a black and white and purple T-Rex thingy that has limited elbow joints that only go to 90 degrees and upwards. Now, where have I heard of that in recent years? And then for the hips, you have outward motion. And obviously that's the shoulder. And then those really cranky knee joints go to a little over 45 degrees. And then because of transformation, you can get the foot to angle back and forth. So this is pretty cool. I like this. Let me pull up that picture again of G1 Snapdragon. Although they're only showing it from the one angle or whatever it is. One thing that they right. I forgot. G1 reminded me. I remember those mounting points that they had on each upper on each upper side torso. Well, what you do is you take the cannons, and for the dyno mode or whatever it is, you plug those in like that. And I can't see what I'm doing. There you go. There. So now you get the cannon barrels on his back. That's what those are for. So that's why in robot mode he's got hole located here, and he's got another one here. It's not because they're Gatling guns. It's because they're mounting points for the Dragon mode or whatever it is, or the Dragon mode. Okay, that's cool. I kind of wish the shoulders were in a ball and socket, but whatever. But yeah, I think I'll say it again. I think the most difficult part of the Dragon mode is going to be flipping Crunk, getting him posed or getting him actually attached in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a fan-fucking-tastic idea to have those little wedges, those annoying little wedges on the front of his biceps, become the eyes in Dragon mode. Badass. But that being said, because of how small Crunk is, because Titan Masters, you're literally going to have to deal with teeth in order to get the Titan Master in and out of there. So that's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue, and because of the size of the figure and because of the size of the figure, that's going to be a problem. So be very, very careful when you're attaching and removing Crunk. That will be a problem. And I don't think any manner of um, I'm starting to draw blanks. I guess that means I'm near the end of the video, huh? It's going to be really difficult to get him in and out of the head there. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a really, really neat idea, but that being said, it's a pain in the fingertips. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. Although if you want to do a little more G1, although I don't think the original G1 Snapdragon can do this, but you can totally plug the cannons in at his hips as well, if you want to do that. You can put the cannon barrels on his hips if you want. Anywhere else? Technically, you can put them down by his ankles. These cannons coming out of his ankles. I don't know how useful that's going to be. If you want to thicken up his shins. I don't know. There, now he's got cannon barrels coming out of his shins or coming out the side of his ankles. Or you can tilt them upwards if you desire. Stick the cannon barrels upright. It's entirely up to you. So, but the default is on his back, and it actually fits quite nicely on his back. So it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I like the fact that the heels, not that the heels are involved in transformation, but these little panels, I don't know why it is they went through the trouble of having those go there, but when you move the joint right here, the black sections move along with it, which is pretty doggone awesome. Then when you pull down, they kind of stay in position there. So I think it might be better to just leave those upright, and then you can flex the tail accordingly. So he's got some dorsal plates or something like that if you want to play around with it that way, or maybe some tail spikes. I mean, if Stegosaurus can get away with it, so can this guy. But anyways, it just like for jet mode, they're really smooth and streamlined right there, which is pretty amazing. But then when you get to dragon mode, you're going to want to flip both of those upright, which will cause you fewer problems. I can't talk. Oh, also I was just thinking of getting this back. This is his back torso right here. This white panel here is his back torso, and then here's his chest, which obviously my camera not very good for this. Both of them are. I thought that they were going to be in parallel with each other, but it turns out they're actually like this. Like G1, they're pointed like this, and they actually don't move at all. But in this version, you actually It might be ordinarily up here in robot mode, but you swing it down, and then you swing it down, and then you lock him into position like that. And they actually do touch each other at the base of his tail. So that is pretty neat. And then he has a little Decepticon badge printed in right here, which is fine. Okay then. Okay then. It's a poor man's dragon. He has no jaw. It's just direct access to the flame launcher. Just fucking saying. It goes in there and just completely disappears. Nice. Ooh, that bicep swivel. God. That is a problem. And because the turquoise wings are, or tails, I guess. Is that right? Yeah, the turquoise tails are molded in as part of the forearm. If you hear a crack, then you've officially broken it. But the problem is, in order to get this thing to turn, you kind of have to lean on that. So, oof. I might actually unscrew the bicep and see if I can't reduce the friction on there a little bit. That does have me concerned. Does have me concerned. Yeah, so I mentioned at this stage, this is the point where you want to uh, put Crunk into or out of the cockpit, just so you don't have to mess with those doors. And I don't think even like using the doors over and over and over to wear down the tabs is going to make any difference. I think like yeah, you legitimately probably shouldn't even mess with the doors because even when separated, they're a pain in the ass. You do want to put Crunk into the cockpit before you put the before you do final assembly on the nose. I almost would have used die-cast metal for the nose transformation for the vehicle mode, or from going into or out of robot mode when you're folding the. I mean, now that I'm looking at it, now that I know what it does, I would have used die-cast metal right there for that joint. That has me concerned. Kronk, you are just too small for this. I don't have many Titan Masters or Siege figures. Oh yeah, one of my favorites is Trigger Happy. Damn, that's a good figure. It's a really good figure. Makes me want to get the G1 version. Then I also have. He's colored like Springer, but that's not his name. He's a tank. Hardhead. Hardhead is also a headmaster that I've got. I had another one. Oh, the accessory bot for Tripticon. That's also a freaking Titan Master. I just realized because of the transformation, you can, if I understand this correctly, yeah, you can kind of sort of give him dragon paws in robot mode just because of the way he transforms. You can totally give him paws if you, although they'll always be like this because of how they transform because they only fold backwards. They will not go straight like this. They'll always be back like that. But still, it's an option if you like. Yeah, kind of all the joints in the arms are kind of not fiddly, but it's the arms are almost more trouble than they're worth. Almost. There's always something that's too tight or could have been made of a different material or could have been positioned in a different way. It's just always something. There you go. There's Snapdragon. Not bad, not terrible. Couple of things I might have done differently, but not enough for me to get rid of this or like demand a refund or something like that. Good deal. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. And so with that, this is AV Unit 4A saying there's an airplane flying overhead interrupting my exit catchphrase. Uh, like, share, comment, subscribe. I don't like doing that, but whatever. This is Ava Unit 4A saying thank you very much for tuning in.